What's up, Collider TV Talk fans? Josh Macuga here, back on a sexy Monday, 11 a.m. PST. We're back to our hopefully permanent time slot right here on Collider Video. It's been a little bit of a shake-up here the last couple weeks, but we're back at that time that you need us, right in the middle of your morning if you're on the West Coast, right post-lunch. If you're on the East Coast, maybe dinner time in the UK, 7 p.m. Prime time in Kuwait. This week, wait, no, it'd be 9 p.m. farts. Because it was 9, it was 8, you remember? Mm-hmm. So now we're 9 p.m. in Kuwait. What's up, Kuwait? Love you guys. We got a big, full show today. You guys asked us to binge American Vandal all weekend, so we did that. Got to say, I loved it. We're going to talk all about that, do a little Emmy highs and lows, some weekend information, but your typical... Your perfect Monday crew is here. The Fyffe is here, Emma Fyffe.
Hello, thank you. So happy to be here. I feel like 9 p.m. is that's still a good TV watching time.
I feel like we can swear a lot more over in Kuwait now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 9 p.m.
Right. Because your kids are probably gone to bed because they got to go to school in the morning.
Correct.
So this is the perfect time for people in Kuwait to just hang out, watch some TV talk on their own, unwind before they have to put themselves to bed.
Agreed. And you know what they have in Kuwait, David? Beards. And you know what we have? Beards. Welcome back, David. Good to see you in your bearded Deadpool shirt. You're crushing it, man.
Yeah, I mean, we did the Emmy recap last night with Mr. John Roca and Grace Hancock, so that was fun. Nice. We're going to talk more Emmys today, though. I can't wait to hear everybody else's opinions of what they thought of the Emmys.
I didn't even get to watch it live, so I was avoiding my my social media because I didn't want to get spoiled on certain ones. So let's just get into it. We're going to talk the Emmys up top. We're going to do a little high lows here, what we liked, what we didn't like. So I will start. If they bring that DJ back next year, I swear to God, I will go to where they're shooting the Emmys and I will talk to the producers myself and be like, whose dumb idea was this? Now listen, I understand his name is Jermaine Fowler.
He's got a show on primetime.
And he's on Superior Donuts, right?
Right.
Which it's not the best, but listen. If it's the VMAs, or if it's the People's Choice Awards or the Teen Choice Awards or anything. And I'm not saying like, hey, the Emmys are like for old people and we should be stuck up and do this thing. Just don't try to do one-liners while people are accepting an award they've been waiting their whole life for.
Yeah.
This isn't a Moon Man. This isn't a surfboard. This isn't a slime ball. This is a effing Emmy, okay? You say, this is Julia Louis-Dreyfus' 7th nomination and 47th win. You say that. You don't go like, shout out to Dick Whitman. Dude, you don't even watch Mad Men. You don't even know who Dick Whitman is, dummy. Okay? Half the people in the audience didn't know who Dick Whitman was because not enough people watched Mad Men when it was on. So don't DJ me and go like, it's Sarah's birthday, let's get a cake.
Woo!
Like, you're not a Vegas DJ,
Yeah.
okay? You're not screaming people's names. You're at the effing Emmys.
Yeah.
I understand, like, we're trying to promote a show. He never once said, I'm on Superior Donuts. Like, yo,
No.
this is Jermaine Fowler, Superior
Yeah.
Donuts. He
Yeah.
was just a dude yelling.
I agree with you. It was super bro-y. Like, you half expected him halfway through the show to be like, who wants to do a keg stand?
Yeah, what's up? Yo, Donald Glover, nice suit, Atlanta.
Yeah.
Like,
I think somebody talked to him because he calmed down towards like the end of the show. Like he wasn't as rowdy towards the end.
Yeah, because he was probably looking at his social media like any one person.
He was
would
trending.
be.
He was trending
No
last
shit,
night.
he should have been trending.
Kidding. Trending in a bad way.
No, I heard you were trying to defend him last night, David.
I was trying to defend him because the boy's got to eat, man. He's just trying to make a paycheck.
Oh, the boy's got to eat, David. He's on a
Right.
fucking primetime show.
Yeah,
know your role.
That's
Right.
true. He's probably
Know
doing
your
better.
role.
He's
Yeah,
probably
I
doing
mean,
okay.
and as you say, Macuga.
You're not an open mic host at the fucking Alamo Draft
Right,
House.
exactly. This is not like karaoke night at Blue Moon up
Yes.
on Burbank Boulevard, which is always karaoke night because it's just always karaoke at
Always.
this dive bar for no
Yes.
reason.
You're not at Barney's yelling like, all right, let's hear it for Erica. Like, this is the Emmys, man. This is the TV's Oscars.
Yeah.
People get dressed up. It's not like I'm showing up in ripped jeans and an ironic shirt that's like, Emmys more like Bemmys. Like, this is the Emmys, man.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the cutoff music though. That's the outro music.
Listen,
that
I
that's a low
felt terrible
me.
for Sterling K. Brown.
No, somebody did. No, somebody did the time, of course, because people are very exact. Like,
Of course.
Nicole Kidman's was 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Sterling K. Brown's was 2 minutes and 30 seconds. But if somebody's saying something profound, and I
Stay.
get the hierarchy. I know it's not race; it's the hierarchy. Nicole Kidman is bigger than Sterling K.
Sure.
Brown. It's just hands down, she is. But I feel like if you're saying something profound, especially about like race and like the significance, like don't cut the dude off.
Agreed.
Like
I
he's
completely
probably
agree.
only going to go 1 minute over. CBS, you make so much money. You're the #1 network. You can afford 15, 20 minutes late.
You can afford to make a
You can
young
afford it.
Sheldon show.
Yeah.
You can afford to
You
let
can afford
Sterling K. Brown talk a little more.
Right.
You know, I'll be honest. What I said first and foremost, I said first when Elizabeth Moss received her award,
She was cut off too.
I was like, they better cut her off. If they don't cut her
They
off
did,
and they cut
yeah.
off Sterling K. Brown,
Yeah,
there's going to be
they
a
did
whole
cut her
thing.
off.
But
Yeah.
they cut her off, right? Second, I honestly think it's a little bit of an undercut. CBS cut off Sterling K. Brown because that show's on NBC. That's just my thought.
Conspiracy.
Got
Just
him.
my thought. Just my thought. But I will say, for me, Sterling K. Brown, super high.
Definitely.
I agree. I think that, I mean, honestly, he was the only network person that won an award of the whole
Yeah.
night. He was
That's
the
100%
only
true.
You
of
can
the
see the
major
nominations.
awards.
It was not a lot of networks being
No.
nominated.
Not a lot.
I mean,
It
except
was
for like
This Is
Saturday Night
Us.
Live, outside of Saturday Night
Yes.
Live.
Yeah.
And-
And as you say, This Is Us.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was really interesting. I mean, I was very pleased overall last night with the representation we got for women and people of color winning awards. Because I mean, if you look at it with Big Little Lies winning Best Limited and Handmaid's Tale winning Best Drama and Veep again winning Best Comedy for the millionth time.
Yeah.
And you know, Veep is a great show, but I will agree that it doesn't always need to win everything.
Agreed.
But that being said, all three of those shows are female driven, which
Yeah.
is incredible.
It's great. It's great. And I don't know. Like I know that like there is a ton of talk about diversity and females and all that kind of stuff. I couldn't care less what color you are, what gender you are. If it's good TV,
Yeah.
it's fucking good TV.
Right.
And Big Little Lies was good effing TV.
Absolutely.
And Handmaid's Tale, as much as I didn't like it, I can appreciate the fact that it was really well done.
Yeah,
Okay?
absolutely.
I think Elizabeth Moss, of all the times she was nominated for Mad Men,
I'm sorry,
and
I forgot she hadn't won an award before.
Yeah.
never won. Yeah.
Yeah,
Never
she's
won.
much deserving in Mad Men for sure.
Yes.
You know, and
Definitely
that's
Mad Men.
and I think that is why Elizabeth Moss won, because as much as I loved her in Handmaid's Tale, I really did think that Claire Foy from The Crown had a really good chance of winning it, and I was a little surprised that she
should
didn't
have
win.
To be honest, I thought she should have. But
You
It's a
bring up,
toss-up.
but again, you bring up the fact that Elizabeth Moss never won before.
Right.
So I feel like this was a little bit of a legacy award. Like she certainly deserved it. Her
I don't
performance in
disagree.
Handmaid's Tale was
Claire will be
fantastic.
back next year for the Crown.
For
season
sure.
two.
Absolutely,
She'll be back next year,
absolutely.
yeah.
And I was just so happy that Ann Dowd won.
Oh, me too. I thought Ann Dowd was the one performance in that show.
She was
that
shocked.
She-
Like
so-
it took her a while to get up on the stage.
I
She was
know,
so
when
And
shocked,
she
yeah.
has a hard part to play in that
Yeah.
show too.
Yes.
Aunt Lydia is very difficult because she's a villain, but you have to believe that she really does care about the girls in her weird
the
way.
future.
And
Yeah.
and again, she was so spectacular on The Leftovers that I was so happy to see her get the nomination for Handmaid's Tale and then to win it. So
Yeah, and Ann Dowd was probably one of maybe my favorite character in The Leftovers. Really
yeah,
loved
she
Ann
was
Dowd in
such a
The
good
I
character.
think one of the most stacked categories was the category that Riz Ahmed won for.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
That was just stacked. I
That's
mean,
a high,
he beat
man.
out Cumberbatch and he beat out Ewan
John
McGregor,
Turturro.
John Turturro. I mean,
I'm
good
really
for
happy
him.
for
I mean,
him.
all those guys, anybody who won was deserving.
Yes.
All those
Yep.
guys are deserving. But the fact
Yep.
that Riz Ahmed won, the youngest guy on that list,
Yep.
I'm happy for him.
And he deserved it. He was
Oh, yeah.
fantastic in
Yeah,
that role.
he was, yeah.
That you saw the fear, the vulnerability, the innocence of that kid, and how he transitioned into a crack addict prisoner of product of the system.
Because in real life, you see how proper in English he's very
Yes.
upright. You know,
Yeah.
in British, you know, he's
Amanda
very
was shocked when he
appropriate.
started talking.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh my god,
He's super British.
he's super British."
Yeah.
Let's talk about the multiple awards won by Donald Glover last night.
Loved it. Deserved them all.
Absolutely.
We've all talked about Atlanta. I thought, and his speeches,
Very humble guy, yeah.
very humble,
Yeah.
to the point. The thing that I really enjoyed when he said, "Thank God for Donald Trump getting elected because none of us would have won these awards had he not," which I thought was hysterical because I mean, just getting on the diversity thing, but
Yeah.
diversity aside,
Yeah.
the dude deserved it. I thought Aziz Ansari's win for writing I thought was great, but
I love how he just stood back.
Yes.
Aziz just stood
Yeah.
back, let her have the mic, like
great.
it's her time. That was awesome.
yes,
I love
it was
that.
great. I personally, I know there were a lot of people that were like, "I can't believe that he did it." I thought the Sean Spicer cameo was
It was
hysterical.
great. I mean,
That
this
was
dude,
was really
you have
funny.
to give
It's
him
great.
credit.
I mean, and the fact that they got to Melissa McCarthy, it was just
the whole
incredible.
audience was shocked.
Shocked.
Because, I mean, you have this guy who's with Trump, obviously, and you go to this complete, like, left-leaning group, and he smiled, and he took everything. He took all, like, the jokes, and he took it with a smile on his face. He was great. I'm so happy that he did that.
Yeah,
you got to
again-
give him credit for doing that.
And as far as little aside saying, Stephen Colbert, I thought did a great job hosting. I mean, he's an effing
Some of the jokes
professional.
were
Yeah,
a
he's
little
wonderful,
too
but
long.
yeah.
The interview of the Emmy as RuPaul was all a little hacky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But my favorite point of his thing was when he and Jimmy Kimmel are sitting there drinking. and they are just crushing John Oliver. Like,
Yeah.
it's British, it's a little dry. It's so good they only make it once a week.
Yeah.
It was a nice, and then they cut to, I think they cut to Reese Witherspoon, and she was like, "Who wrote that?" Right?
Yeah, right, yeah.
It may have been off the cuff, because,
Yeah.
or I mean, they could have planned it. They could have said, "Hey, if John Oliver wins, this is what we're gonna do." Right? They could have planned it, but it also could have been totally off the cuff. We don't know. I mean, you would imagine in a produced show like the Emmys, that's not off the cuff, but
right.
it's pretty well done.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: as far as a low for me, and I know this is a stupid low, I love Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She's the GOAT, right? I mean, she's the greatest of all time, at least of our era. She should have won more times for Seinfeld. I was always shocked that she won for New Adventures of Old Christine, because the show was kind of average. But there were a couple other people, I think, in the category this year that maybe deserved it more. And I don't want to like throw her on because she keeps winning, and I get it, and Veep keeps winning, but I thought Veep had a weak season this year. Like, it was genius. Like, that show is so smart, it's so good, but I think that, I mean, I don't know, maybe go to another series. It almost seems like they're hitting repeat.
Well,
but again, you cannot go wrong in doing either one.
No,
It's a whole Breaking Bad thing. You
Yeah.
know, when what's his name was winning year after year after year, and I was like, give it to John Hamm.
Yeah.
They did eventually. It took a while. But like, give it to John Hamm, and I think that they penalized John Hamm. I hate to say this because of his looks. I think it's like he looks like he's Donald Draper's character. He's not like the underdog. You know, people love the underdog, but I think that shouldn't take away from his acting ability.
It's so interesting too that John Hamm is so well known for playing Don Draper, because he's a comedian, really.
funny,
You know what I
yeah,
mean?
he's a
Like,
funny
he's
guy.
a super funny dude.
Yes,
But
yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean, Josh. And I think that the issue is that in television right now, there aren't as many strong comedies
Agreed.
as there are dramas. And so that's why Veep continues to stand out. I think it's a. I mean, was Rashida Jones wasn't even nominated for Angie Tribeca,
Angie
right?
Tribeca was great. I mean, there was some TBS
Catastrophe
comedies
on
Catastrophe,
Amazon.
Fleabag.
Fleabag.
You know, there were some
Yep.
really, really adventurous and daring comedies out there.
Yeah.
And
You're the Worst?
Again, You're the Worst is very good.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, the thing about Veep, and I hate to keep bringing politics into this, but sometimes like the political, because I don't think that Alec Baldwin deserved the Emmy for Trump. I really don't. It's a hacky impression that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, he just does a lot of fingers and he does this. Like, a lot of people can imitate Trump, right? And the thing is funny, there are really good comedians that were in that category that didn't win, and it's kind of a shame.
Right.
But because of the political climate that we're in, and because, like you said, it's a left-leaning kind of a thing, there was a lot of people, I think, that were given awards based solely on a political satire. And I'm not taking away anything from Veep. It is by far the smartest and funniest show on television, and it deserves the Emmy. But I would love to see like them take a risk and do, because you know they're going to win again next year. It's the last season.
Yeah.
They didn't win next year.
That's
Yeah.
true. I was just
Send off,
thinking,
yeah.
when are we getting a full season of Marvelous Mrs. Maisel? Because I feel like that's going to be a really
Yes.
strong player in the comedy
And
category.
Agreed.
But it's
Agreed.
an hour long. That always changes. Was Shameless ever up for? Shameless
Yes.
was up. It was
Yeah,
okay. 'Cause
it
I know
has
like
to have
when
been.
things go an hour, it gets confused. It's like, well, it's an hour, so is it a drama or is it a
Right.
comedy?
Yeah.
Which
They
I don't
can-
think should be.
Yeah.
That should make a difference.
Agreed. Again, I think the comedy category is where the Emmys kind of
Yeah.
swung and missed.
Yep.
Because Modern Family is great, Blackish is great, and I think they deserve some recognition. Not Modern
Yeah.
Family has the recognition.
Yeah.
I'm saying
Blackish
deserves
definitely deserves some
recognition.
Even like a show like Fresh Off the Boat. I think those are some very
Yes.
well done network shows, and I think there were some really funny shows on Netflix and stuff that doesn't, you know, I mean. And I think, honestly, that animated should be able to be entered into live action. Because
Yeah,
BoJack
especially
Horseman,
in the comedy category.
Yeah.
BoJack
Yep.
Horseman deserves some.
Oh,
some
100%.
wins.
Yeah.
It
Some
really,
wins.
really does.
Do you guys have anything else you wanted to hit on? I know, Emma, you were really happy on Handmaid's Tale.
I was.
Thought they deserved- I
was
thought Big
happy-
Little Lies again
yeah,
too.
and I was happy that that John Lithgow won for The Crown.
Yeah,
And
there's your
again, that
British
was
guy. Yep,
another stacked category.
Yeah.
So many fantastic nominees, but he was really good as Winston Churchill.
I know.
He was really
He
good.
was Winston Churchill.
He
Yeah.
was.
I'm excited. Oh, so I found out that, just random side note, somebody not correct me, but just informed me in the notes or in the comments that Michael C. Hall is playing John F. Kennedy.
Yeah.
In The Crown season 2. So when you see him in the trailer, he's playing John F. Kennedy. That's
That's
pretty cool.
awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Oh, I
Yeah.
like
Crown
that.
bringing it up.
Dexter is JFK.
Okay. I love it.
I like
That's
it. I'm
exciting,
into
yeah.
it.
All right, that's our Emmys breakdown. Again, I enjoyed the show. I think congratulations to all the winners. I know I'm jealous of Emmy wins, so that's incredible. Let's
You'll
move
get one
on.
for Jeopardy sometime.
Yeah,
Josh
thanks,
Macuga.
thanks, Emma. I
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that. Let's let's move on to a news that I want to talk about for about a minute, and then we can go on. Fox is developing a True Lies series.
The bridge is out. The bridge is out.
So what we're gonna
Why?
do is I'm going to take the scalpel and we're gonna put it in your neck,
Yep.
and then we're gonna throw this. Like, okay, let's just get this straight. True Lies, awesome movie.
Great.
Sure,
movie, great
absolutely.
movie.
Fantastic
Yep.
movie.
Jamie Lee was hot.
Oh,
boy, in
Jamie
that
Lee
one.
Curtis is fantastic in that movie.
So the strip
Yeah.
scene in the hotel, my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yep.
Okay. I know you love Lethal Weapon, and I really enjoy the show as well. I think it's
It's a good. You can
it's
just
great.
watch an episode whenever you want. Every now and
Sure.
then, just watch an episode.
Okay.
It's good. Yeah.
That's a buddy cop comedy.
Yeah.
True Lies is an Arnold Schwarzenegger vehicle with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes.
And the movie wraps up nicely. You like hiding being a spy from your wife. It's been done. I don't see the need for this, and I don't know why
I
they're
don't
doing
either.
it.
And especially when you're putting that True Lies brand on it, as you say, it was a vehicle for Arnold Schwarzenegger.
It was a Schwarzenegger comedy.
Yeah, I don't see somebody else playing Schwarzenegger's role.
It's Commando meets Kindergarten
Yeah.
Cop. It really is. I don't know. Dave, what do you think?
I mean, I see why they're doing it because Lethal Weapon was a huge success. So, like, well, we can do Lethal Weapon. Let's bring back another, great action film from back in the day. Let's do True Lies. You know what they could do would be interesting if they develop the husband-wife story, but don't have it linger for too long. Like, let them team up, like they kind of did at the, towards the end of True Lies, and have them as a couple, like a power couple, working together. That could be interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
You
if they
know?
said it after, even
maybe
if they
even
just
after, yeah.
started after the fact,
Yeah.
and then she already knows that he's a spy and they are working
Right.
together. But then it's like, where's the lies part of True
True,
Lies?
that's a
Right.
good point. Yeah, that's a good
Right.
point. Yeah, that's true.
And if we don't have Bill Paxton, we don't have
R.I.P. Yeah.
I know.
the best. All right, let's move on to what I can only say was the highlight of my weekend. American Vandal is just so good. This show, okay, there aren't many trailers that grab me as much as this trailer did, and I was so hoping that the show wouldn't be terrible. Okay, it's genius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's genius.
It is really brilliantly done, and a shining example of what I would consider to truly be satire.
Yes.
It is not a parody, but it is making a commentary on our obsession with these true crime shows
Yes.
and with true crime in general. And everyone in the show treats this crime of vandalizing all of the cars in the teacher's parking lot by spray painting dicks on them.
Yes.
They treat it so seriously.
Yes.
And it's just brilliant.
I mean, the scene in the party when they were breaking down the cell phone video of where the
Yes!
spray can
Oh my
came
God.
from,
Those
is
animations were great. Yeah.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said before in pre-pro, when the opening scene when he says, "What is your name and who are you?" He's like, "I'm Dylan." What do you mean, who am I? I'm Dylan. What else does it mean? It just set the tone for the entire series. The kids take it so seriously. The administration, everybody takes it so. And honestly, man, a little part of me wants to go back to high school. It's like this is what I loved how they represented high school. I loved how they represented teachers and the
It was
students.
extremely
and
well done.
And dude, I'm telling you, the standout star and somebody who they talked to for like all of 8 seconds is the dude that got with all those hot chicks. Was his name like Minimi or like Tim Minimi? They like kept cutting and be like,
yes.
and again, good for Pat.
Oh,
Minimi.
Yeah, no, good for him. Yeah, he was killing, he was
That
slaying.
was
Yeah,
so
Yeah.
funny.
And don't forget, we had one of our old former Screen Junkies guys, Nick Mundy.
Nick Mundy
Had
made a
little
nice cameo
in
Nick
there,
did
yeah.
have a nice cameo in
Yeah.
it. And the thing that I really, really enjoyed about it is, for as incredibly well done and clever as it was, it did have a very strong message of, do you really want to know the truth? Like, what do you gain from knowing the full truth about something? Because, spoilers, later
great.
at the end of the series, when American Vandal, which is the documentary that they're making throughout the entire show, is done, and Dylan actually sits down to watch it, he has to confront what everybody thinks he is.
Correct. Even though it ends well for him,
It ends super well for
he
him.
realizes that he is that person. Like, it's sad.
Yeah.
It's a heartfelt comedy.
Yeah.
That is, even the episode titles are all dick jokes. They're
yeah.
all sexual innuendo about like flaccid and hard dicks. Like, it's hysterical. I know it's one long dick joke, but it is perfectly
Yeah.
told.
Yeah.
And the guy's name, by the way, is Pat McElwaite.
Pat McElwaite.
Yeah, good for Pat.
Yes.
Good for Pat
When they
again.
keep cutting
Yeah.
Good for Pat. Yeah.
Which again,
They literally literally just show his picture in the yearbook
He's always
over and
like-
over again.
Pat McElwain? Really?
Good for
Really,
Pat.
man? And I love the fact that like they had the reenactment of the hand job on the
That
desk.
rod, that was
God.
yeah. Yeah.
I mean, again, this was done so much like Making a Murderer, so well done in a true crime fashion, all about dicks on cars.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was so good.
I told my brother, I was like, this is a joke that you and I would have thought was funny when we were high, and they made an 8-episode series on Netflix about it. I mean, it was that well done.
Yeah.
Well, because it puts you in the position where you become like the lawyer. You know, you become the judge, you become the jury, all those things, because at the end you're like, wait, he didn't do it. I don't think he did it. He didn't do it.
I
Did,
was-
did Krista Carlisle do it? Do we think?
I think
Spoiler.
that
we don't know.
that's
don't
what
know.
we don't know.
We don't know.
I loved like his dicks were much more thin and like that
Right.
the mushroom head.
Well,
Yeah.
and the hair
But
on
that
the
last
balls.
video
Saw it.
footage though of him near the end, I mean, at the teacher's house.
Well, but here's the thing: is he
He
learned
was trying to frame
he was
somebody
trying
else.
to frame somebody
Right,
else
that's
because
true.
he drew the dicks like they
Yeah,
were on the
the
car.
other way,
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that was the thing was I was 100% invested in this investigation. I wanted to know who did it, and every time they went on a tangent, like for a while, I thought it was Mac, the girlfriend, also.
Yeah.
And then when she came out with why it wasn't her, it was
great.
It was
And the one girl was like really political.
Yes.
Makes all these
Yeah,
political
that's what we're
statements,
saying.
But
Love it.
Yeah.
Every aspect of high school was hit on perfectly. I think like each clique, each group, the sports guys, the hot guys, the hot girls,
Yeah.
everything was just really well done. And I will say probably the most poignant part of the documentary for me is when the really hot girl came up to Peter Maldonado and said like,
Yeah.
"You ruined my life," all that stuff. He's like, "Okay, I told a true story. What's like?" And he went
Yeah.
back to beer pong
Yeah.
because
He's like, "What?"
he's a documentarian. Like,
Yeah.
he embraces the thing.
Yeah.
I did really enjoy when his buddy tried to like. He's like, Peter Maldonado's all of his movies suck.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
obsessed
I know.
with dicks.
Dicks, yeah.
I think his name was Jack's investigation
Yeah,
on him was
Jack
so
Eklund.
Like
funny.
there's like an angle where he's like doing something. He's looking at a guy's crotch.
Sam
like the arrow
Eklund.
points.
Sam,
to-
Sam,
Yes.
yeah.
So
One-
good.
Yeah.
One syllable name.
Yes. But American Vandal, I mean, personally, I can't recommend this highly enough.
Yes, watch
Yeah, it was
when it was
fantastic.
over, it felt like when I finished Glow, I was like, oh man, it's done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So-
I believe that they are getting a second season. I think that has
Obviously a different thing, but with the same kind of people.
Yeah, with the same kind of story.
Anthology,
Yes.
An
documentary.
anthology. I'm so
anthology
excited to
series,
see
yeah.
what true crime gets
Again,
committed this time.
It's really, really good. Yeah. Okay, let's do some weekend high-lows. This will be real quick, mostly because our weekend was spent watching American Vandal
Yep.
and then the Emmys, which is a 3-hour broadcast.
Yeah, so I have about like 7 or 8 shows on my DVR I need
plus
to watch.
football and sports and life. You know, we have
Yeah,
lives.
you have to live
I don't know if you guys
sometimes.
know,
You have to
but
live.
we actually do
We
stuff.
do go outside sometimes.
Sometimes.
The sun.
God,
The sun.
one time in college, I didn't leave my apartment for 4 days, mostly because I was depressed and
no.
a girl broke up with me. I was I'm 19. I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
And I went outside, and my brother was like, "What?" And I was like, "Everything's moving so fast." Like, when you're not outside for a long period of time, you don't realize like how weird your body and like brain gets. Because anyway, weekend high lows. I did watch the second episode of The Deuce. I don't know if I like it. I
Okay.
think this
That's
is
David
gonna.
Simon.
I think this is really gonna have to be a full season kind
Yeah.
of retrospective
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
me. I know you guys didn't get a chance
I'm
to
gonna
watch
watch
it
it.
Yeah, I
yet,
haven't,
yeah.
but I enjoyed the pilot, so I'm
Yeah.
curious to watch the second
It's,
episode.
I will say this: it is going somewhere.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not just standing still like a Treme
Right.
or a wire.
Can I
but-
say something real quick? Sorry,
Yeah.
I know it's not to be a downer, but it was
Go.
kind of sad. We learned that one of the scouting directors for the
Oh,
Narcos,
for Narcos,
was killed because they're looking to
yeah.
shoot
Oh,
in Mexico
God.
because the show's so authentic. They filmed everything in Colombia for the
Yeah.
first 2 seasons. He goes in one of the worst areas, the highest murder rate I think in that area, and he was killed.
It's
He
crazy.
was scouting for season 3 of Narcos.
Again,
So
I don't
so
understand
sad.
why we're scouting there. Why can't we build? Narcos
They can
is
build a set.
one of their most
I
successful
know.
shows. Go to
Shoot in
New
the
Mexico
desert
or
out here
somewhere
or
and where
something,
they've
yeah.
already built sets and do it. They should not be scouting in Mexico. They should not be doing that because they are putting people's lives at risk.
Yeah.
And it's all for a TV show. Like that's not worth it.
No, it
Yeah.
isn't.
It's really not worth it.
So yeah.
Halt and Catch Fire. I know I keep mentioning every week, but
I'm gonna
this
watch it. It's
show
gonna be
is
my
good.
next binge.
Okay,
Yeah,
there
it'll
you
be my
go.
next binge.
The draw in the Canelo Triple G fight. And I know we don't usually talk about sports on the show, and I know Emma's not a big fight fan, but it just goes to prove that there is something wrong with boxing. There's just something wrong with it.
It's a draw.
It's a draw. There should not be ties in fights.
And
There-
now
there
fight
really shouldn't
2
be.
will go on because that'll get more money. And,
Of course.
yeah.
So it felt like a little bit of a fix because, from what I understood, and I watched the whole thing. From what I understood, a lot of the people thought it was a very even fight, but that Triple G won, and a lot of people that thought Canelo won. But there should have been a split decision. It should not have been a draw.
Yeah.
Yeah, flip a coin or something.
Finally, Emmymation on Wednesday. We're going to talk Rick and Morty like
Yeah.
we did last week, so we get a chance. And tomorrow, David's got a bunch of Great British Breakdown stuff.
I might have Grace
Good
and
Omens?
Josh watch another show with me.
Ooh.
Last week did that show Relic.
Yeah.
Killer Backwards on BBC. So maybe we'll watch another show tonight.
David Griffin throwing it out there. Okay, that's your weekend high lows. Let's do a couple Twitter questions. I know I had one right here on the docket. Let's load. Here we go. Is it smart or dumb for Marvel to have shows across 4 separate networks, ABC, Hulu, Netflix, Freeform? Hashtag Collider TV. That comes from at Strkerm of 625.
Well, this may
Curious
end.
George.
Yes.
Curious George.
This may end.
It really may
Yeah.
with Disney introducing their own streaming service, and I actually think that if it does end, that will be a bad thing.
Agreed. I think it works against it because having creative minds, creative networks, creative executives, all
Exactly.
different kinds of people doing different things for networks. And my friend Andrea Roth is in Cloak and Dagger, and I asked her how thing, and she's like, "It is an incredible show."
Oh, great.
So I mean, I know that she wouldn't say anything bad about it,
Right.
but she seemed very genuinely excited about it. So. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that by being across different networks, again, not only do you get the other sort of creative input, but you also are appealing to different audiences.
Yes.
And so I think it behooves Marvel to have their hands in so many places.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. Because I mean, the thing is, there's such a built-in audience.
Yeah.
You know, Disney experiences they're going to deliver in 2019. Will I'm sure will be good. There's 100 million subscribers on Netflix. People that are watching
Yeah.
Daredevil and The Punisher. So I hope they don't make the switch.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. Okay, one more. This comes from Chris at _Markel. He always asks a bunch of good questions here on Twitter. If you were to host an award show, who would be the first person you roast? This is easy. The creators of Westworld. All of the people in Westworld, I would just roast those robots, literally melt them down. Emma?
Wow.
I got to say, high for me, Westworld not winning anything. And to prove my point, not that I didn't want David Harbour to win, but Stranger Things not winning anything just proves it's a great show, not Emmy worthy. Anyway, go ahead.
I think I might roast.
At least the major awards. Stranger Things won some tech awards.
I would roast Stephen Moffat for some of the choices he made as showrunner on Doctor Who.
Okay.
Yep,
Emma,
that's,
going straight Doctor Who's down.
yeah.
I would try to take down the queen herself. I would try to roast Oprah.
Oh.
I would probably never be. I would never be seen again because you can't mess
Yes.
with Oprah. She will take you out.
She will
it'd be
take
worth
you
It would
out.
be worth it if you're gonna go out. Take down the biggest person there. I mean, Oprah's
Agreed.
got some power.
Yes.
Don't mess with Oprah.
I like the balls on you, David.
Yeah,
I like
sometimes
that.
you gotta try it.
That's what makes TV talk original as shit. David comes in hot, roasting Oprah. All right, let's do a. If you could win an Emmy, what would you want to win it for? David, start with you.
Best new British drama. So
Is that
basically,
a category?
well, hopefully,
Oh, I
what I'm
made up a
hoping for is that the
category for
BAFTAs.
Is that a category? Up,
Yeah!
Hey!
So what's going to happen is the BAFTAs are going to merge, like a big crossover, like Avengers. So they're going to merge with the Emmys.
The
It's gonna be
Bemmys?
The Bemmys.
Or
Yeah.
the YAFTAs.
Because, or the AFTAs.
Yeah.
I like the AFTAs.
AFTAs.
The AFTAs.
The AFTAs.
The AFTAs. I like the AFTAs.
You're going to go after the
You're gonna go
dinner.
to
You're going to have
Yaftas.
some coffee and some strudel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I would like to win most gifable actress in a comedy.
Oh,
Yeah.
giveable. I
Yep.
dig that.
Yep.
Okay. I'd be best game show host. There we go. All right. That'll do it for us here on the Collider TV Talk on a sexy Monday. Before we get out of here, I just want to say thoughts and prayers to Harry Dean Stanton's family, friends, people that loved him on screen, movies, TV. An absolute legend. I know he'll be missed in everything he does. One of the greatest interviews you'll ever hear is Mark Maron on Mark Maron's podcast, Interview Harry Dean Stanton. And the quote was, "Do you ever want to quit cigarettes?" He said, "No, I like them." Just a true American original Harry Dean Stanton. So you'll be missed. All right, David Griffin, where can the good people find you on the internet?
Find me on Instagram and Twitter at GriffinDE. I'll also be here on TV Talk tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
British Breakdown, David.
British Breakdown.
The Fyffe, Emma Fyffe.
You can find me all over the internet wherever Emma Fyffes are sold at my name, EMMAFYFFE.
Josh Macuga at Josh Macuga, Twitter and Instagram. The Josh Macuga Show on YouTube tonight on WGN. It's The Rock. Welcome to The Rock. Thank you guys as always for watching, and we're back here at 11 a.m. PST every single day. Emma will be back on Wednesday, talk a little Rick and Morty and some more Emmymation. David tomorrow. Chad and Michael Collins on Thursday. So a nice little guest here on the show. Thank you guys as always for watching. Put down the book. Pick up the remote. Hey everybody, Josh Macuga here. Thanks so much for watching this episode of Collider TV Talk. Want to watch more episodes? Click there. It's an interactive link. Or for more Collider content, click down there. Subscribe to the channel. Tell all your friends. Get an airplane. Drive it by that says Collider. I'm not telling you to buy an airplane. Just do whatever you want as long as you're watching Collider video.